think everyone sounds good.
Everyone sounds fine to me. Yeah.
I'm gonna do a pregame question because I still need some mental adjusting time. Okay, I've got a good pregame question. I'm gonna copy it and put it in Roll20 and then put it in the chat. General. Okay, so everybody, what hobby does your character have that we don't already know about?
Gimbal collects bugs.
Fuck yes, of course he does. That's so good.
He carries them with him in like a little sack. He's never shown anybody because he's pretty embarrassed about it. But like kind of like someone's embarrassed about singing in public. He like secretly picks up bugs along the way.
I really like this because most bug collection is usually a very like kind of like bougie sterile thing where like you have your little like board that you pin them to and you have them all labeled and stuff. But I like the idea that Gimbal just has a fucking sack full of like just old dead bugs.
Yeah, he's careful not to smash them.
Yeah. Is it a like reinforced sack? Like is it maybe like a jar?
No, it's just a leather sack.
I feel like that would be prone to getting smashed.
Yeah, but he's like very protective of it.
Okay. Very good. All right. Yeah.
Azra is really good at shadow puppets.
Okay.
So like if we as a party are ever like, I don't know, just sitting by a fire or something, or there's a light source and a wall, then Azra's probably making shadow puppets behind your head.
Now this is really fascinating because I really doubt that is something that he could have developed in the astral plane. It's a skill he probably would have needed to learn since taking over Sabek's body.
Yeah. Since I imagine the astral plane is lots of different kinds of light just playing off one another. Like the concept of it was kind of just think of it almost like a savant type of thing.
I get it. I love it. Yeah. I like the idea that he has like a natural inclination towards it, but then it's kind of like surprises him and everyone else when he's just like sitting around the fire one night and suddenly just starts like he's like notices that he's casting a shadow and is like, huh, I wonder if I can do that. Oh, hey, look at that.
Yeah.
I love it. Next.
So I'm thinking Ronan is into collecting.
Hey, Mikhail.
Yo.
I'm getting you pretty quiet.
Okay. Let me get up on this mic. Am I still coming through quiet?
You're a little better. I wonder if I turned your mic down. So I can turn you up. Do you want to do anything on your side?
Yeah, I would say just turn me up because I'm already kind of like right up on top of my microphone.
For what it's worth, sounds fine to me. Like I could hear him clearly.
Talk again, Mikhail.
So Ronan.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Ronan would really be into collecting, I guess, this world's version of magical baseball cards.
Fuck yeah.
People don't know about it, but every time we go to a shop, he always buys one pack and kind of opens it in secret, hoping to get a very rare rookie card he's been looking for that he hasn't found yet.
Okay, proposal. I think instead of baseball cards, it's this world's equivalent of Magic cards.
Okay, that's even better.
Oh yeah.
Timely.
So my my most recent character, who you guys met briefly at the beginning of this campaign, Ciara, was a like teenage farm girl who also happened to be a terrifying monster. And her thing was that she was like obsessed with knights. Like she wasn't a knight, but she really liked knight like culture. And so her hobby was that she did exactly what you were just describing. She collected this world's equivalent of baseball cards, but instead they're like jousting tournament cards, and so each card is for like a different knight, and it has all that.
Yeah, they should just have like cute little stats on the back and maybe like a little blurb about what tournaments they've won or which ones they were injured in.
Yeah, and it has like their coat of arms on the back of each one. Yeah, I love it. I think that idea is so cute.
Oh,
Lunara.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Go ahead.
did you have any more?
Yeah, no, because I still have a Wex.
Oh, that's right. Wex might show up this game.
Okay. I want to say Wex. It's kind of a hobby he's made up on his own because there's no word for it where he's from, but he's really into collecting maps and doing cartography.
I like that. That's
and there's
cool.
no one else kind of charting the open waters where he's from. So
For somebody who travels a lot, that is an objectively super cool hobby.
Yeah, no one asks about it, but he keeps a lot of maps in his adventurers pack.
I love it. Lunara?
Hello. Lunara really likes to make flower crowns, but she would like kill anybody if they ever found her doing it or found out that she liked doing it because she's super embarrassed by it.
I love it. It's both really cute and really, really sad how much of Lunara's character is like clearly derived from trauma. Like that's not a normal thing that people should be like. There's clearly a backstory to the like she doesn't want anybody to know about this.
Yeah.
No, I think it's cool. Is there a version of Coachella in this world?
Oh my goodness.
Of course.
Oh,
I think every fairy ring is Coachella to the max.
Okay, then that's
Jesus.
cool.
I think
our
all
family's like a traveling troupe, so you know they'd be super into Coachella.
Oh God, yeah, I love it. Dad, you online?
I had one more too.
Oh yeah, go for it for Sabak.
Yeah, Sabak. I think the party would have an idea of this, but nobody ever really asked Sabek about it because reasons. Sabek sews. He's been sewing his own clothes and sewing together like animal pelts and all different kinds of shit to make his outfits for a while because he was like a wandering barbarian type dude. So he sews.
Practical and yeah, it's a thing that I think has like a feminine connotation in our world, but in like I think in this world, like that would totally just be like a good thing that any like reasonable, self-sustainable adventurer can do.
Yeah, one of those. This is one less reason for me to go into town type of deals.
But I like the idea that he's like more polished with it and like a little bit like more maybe professional with it than he needs to be.
Oh yeah.
Like he definitely does treat it as an art, even if He doesn't have to.
Takes pride in his work, indeed.
Yeah. Hey, Dad, you online?
I am.
So
So
you
I
have
jumped
two
in the
characters.
middle, but I've heard what people have said, most of it.
You know the question?
Do we have a hobby?
Yes. What a hobby that we don't already know about.
Tamara likes to collect things like shiny pebbles and little gemstones, pieces of quartz, just things that she might come across that are unusual.
Does she
And
keep her whole? Because she has a home. Does she keep her whole collection with her, or does she have a room back home that she keeps it all in? And
I think
updates
she likes to carry some things in a little pouch with her, some of her favorite things, and she brings things home and has a collection. So she
That's
has
so
like
cute.
an organized kind of collection by different types of things. And they help her to remember where she's been and who she's known, and so she will have notes. She
I
will
love
collect
that.
notes along with these things.
So I love the dynamic of her having just a home. Like, it gives us so much room to explore her life outside of adventuring. And I think it's a really fascinating dynamic that everybody else in the party, for the most part, lives out of their backpack. I'm excited for the next campaign, which is going to be like, your home is going to be a much bigger factor in it. All right. Oh, and do you want to answer for Hogard?
So if people are just going to crash at my home, you're saying?
No, I'm
joking.
Yep. I'm gonna put my feet up.
Like Bilbo and everybody just shows up and it's like,
I'll be all
okay,
hunched
this is
over.
our new operation. This is my corner. Hogard. I forgot. Are we am I playing Hogard today? I thought I was playing tomorrow.
You're gonna be playing tomorrow today, but Hogard might show up depending on how the pacing works out.
Hobby. Well, he just likes to tinker. He's always like tinkering. He's interested in other people who know about tinkering and who knows. He's got some interest in magic, but
Can I ask?
I don't. Go ahead.
Hogard seems like somebody who would have a bad bad habit of finding interesting machines and like mechanical things and disassembling them to see how they work.
Yeah.
And
he likes to take things apart.
Reassembling them.
Right.
Correctly.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, hopefully they're not anything really important or useful, but yeah, he loves to take things apart and see how they work. Doesn't mean he's going to get them back together.
Awesome.
That's not important. But if he's learned something about how they work, that's important.
Okay. So I'm nervous about this game, but no reason to put it off any longer than we have. Are we all ready to jump in?
I am ready.
Ready.
As ready as I can be. I see a Goku token, and I don't know if that's indicative of his actual
That's
I see Guile.
That's actually Goku, and he's actually 20 feet tall.
That's
that's actually, you haven't gotten to that part of Dragon Ball Z yet, but in the next season he goes and hangs out with a bunch of fire giants, and his next Super Saiyan form, he just turns into a giant.
The rate they're going, that isn't far off.
Yeah. I honestly don't know where they're gonna go now that Goku has beat up literal gods. You don't go too much higher than that.
He'll have like an evil clone.
Okay.
Unless they've already done that.
They did that
is their
already.
pattern.
Shit.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry.
Okay, cool. So, you guys were escorted by Fella into to the court of giants. You can see the court laid out in front of you. there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 main speakers, and there's 2 people who appear to be feminine storm giants. You guys have seen a storm giant once before, back in the Eye of the Allfather. And they are all talking excitedly. It's a think of this as kind of like the House of Congress, but yeah, that's a thing. But without quite as much like rules and regulations. So there's a lot of people like shouting over each other. Unfortunately, they are all talking in Jotun. Does anybody in the party speak Jotun or have a spell that would allow them to comprehend it?
I do not.
I forget. Now, where can I see like my languages?
Somebody speaks Jotun.
Yeah, I remember someone.
I don't think
Vanitas.
Vanitas did.
Ah,
Yeah.
shit.
I mean, it would be weird if you guys spoke Jotun. Vanitas was an exception there, and he had a backstory behind it. Thankfully, you guys have 2 giants with you.
We have what?
Yeah, I have.
You guys have 2 giants with you.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. What are you saying, Mikhail?
Oh no, I was just saying. I think Ronan has comprehend languages.
Oh, do you want to do that?
Yes, I would.
Okay. Well, that's good. So you'll have somebody to reference here, so you aren't just taking their word for it. Oh no. Oh. I'm moving everybody all around. Okay, so Ronan casts comprehend languages. Are you so I think usually you can cast that as a spell or a ritual. If you do it as a ritual, it doesn't take any spell slots, but it takes 10 minutes to perform. If you do it as a spell, you just do it as an action. Are you just casting it?
Yeah, I'm just gonna cast it.
Good call. Okay, so it has been cast. You are suddenly able to comprehend everything they're saying, and it's like doesn't really make it any easier because there's something like 5 people talking at a time, and it's really hard to cut through it. So Harshnag and Zephyros are going to give the rest of the party little updates on what they are hearing, heard, talked about. Right? Does that work? Sentence English.
Yeah, man, you good.
Ronan will hear this firsthand and will, know all the nuanced language used and such. Harshnag and Zephyros listen into the conversation, and as they do, they are getting more and more concerned. And they start telling you guys that what they're overhearing is so there's a few different things that seem to be going on. It seems like the different courts of giants who are not storm giants, the cloud giants you see there. By the way, do you see name tags under these guys?
No.
Okay, cool. So it's just me. So you see the cloud giants, the fire giants, the hill giants, the frost giants, and the stone giants are all they all seem to be arguing for why they or their clan should be given certain rights and privileges. It seems like it's some kind of negotiation of almost like drawing up a new constitution, and everybody is arguing to get the best things in place for their people and trying to meet their people's interests. The yes, so all of the non-storm giant groups are basically arguing like, if you don't give us these rights, we're going to we don't need you. Like, we're just going to take them because there's no ordning anymore. We can do what we want. So like, give us these rights or we walk, kind of thing. The two people talking, who are the two storm giants up at the head, who the probably just Zephyros, actually Harshnag too, can recognize as Mirren and Nim, the two of the daughters of King Hecaton. So these are two storm giant princesses. They are actually the two older storm giant princesses, but they are not currently ruling. Their sister was actually their younger sister was actually chosen as the king's heiress to be the regent in his stead. So Mirren and Nim seem to be holding court without their sister, and they are trying to kind of leverage to get some power back into the negotiation. And the thing that they're leveraging is they want to use the Jotun nation, the collected united kingdom of giants. They want to use that unity to start grabbing land from the small people. So they want to take over the overworld, the basically the continent. Yeah, I think Zephyros is probably going to note that it sounds like they don't necessarily care terribly much about that. That's just a convenient thing that they can use to unite these other factions. So this goes on for several minutes while you guys have been told to wait until you are called. Does anybody have any action they want to take while this is happening prior to you guys being called up? Or do you want to just wait patiently?
Gimmel's being hesitant.
Under his breath, Azur says, "Snoo, snoo," while looking at the storm giant princesses.
Oh no.
Gimbal doesn't like monarchy. He doesn't know what to do.
Okay.
Gimbal's an anarchist.
Goddamn right.
God, Gimbal and Sabek would do total anarchy. Okay. Nobody has anything they want to do?
Yeah, I think I'm just chilling
Not
with the
yet.
information because I kind of don't understand what it is that they're referring to, other than I guess I'd relate to the party unless Zephyrs or Harshnag said something about them saying that they wanted to take over the Overland, because that would be poignant.
So that is translated by the other two, but you can join in a conversation with the party and make sure that the party, gets the closest translation and all that.
I'd like to get the hint that that's what they're aiming for.
Yeah, that's significant. So, in a second, we're gonna get to the part where you guys actually get to talk. I want to remind you guys why you're here, because I know it was like a long time ago. Do you guys remember your meeting with the Eye of the Allfather, the Oracle?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember why you wanted to get the magical conch to come to Maelstrom?
Was that not to basically like reset the ordning?
So, yes, there's the Horn of Winter, which should be able to reset the ordning. And the Eye could not tell you where it is, but that information, along with many other pieces of information, including what happened to Sabek's village and where is Wex's father, and where is King Hecaton. All of that information is being blocked by a single source, and the Eye of the Allfather doesn't know what's blocking him, but he knows that it is in Maelstrom, or at least that Maelstrom is where you need to go to find it. Everybody's comfortable with that?
Yep. Got it. Azra doesn't completely know these details, but yeah,
Okay.
I was just saying that I remember.
I think Azra, I don't know if he would understand the significance of these details, but I've been assuming that he kind of has access to all of the stuff that Sabak has like seen and heard.
Yeah.
Okay. But I absolutely don't think that Azra would like know or understand why that's significant.
Same with the talking about the overworld. Like, as far as Azra is concerned, there's the astral realm, the far realm, and then this mortal realm. So
Yep. Okay. So, after probably like half an hour of this, the conversation goes along many different routes, and they talk about different factions, talk about their wants and stuff. And after they get to a kind of a natural like lull in the conversation, they call to shelve that topic for the time being and to move on to the next point. At which point Fella walks forward and announces that there are visitors who have entered via the conch of teleportation and which wish to speak to the congregation. And then Fella steps off to the side and kind of looks to you guys like expectantly, like they're curious to see what you guys are going to do next. So before you guys go up, and we can say that this happened, a little bit before Fella walked out. Sabek, or not Sabek, Harshnag and Zephyros want to lean down, take a knee, and discuss with you guys what your strategy is when you go up there. What?
Okay.
What are you even asking them for?
Azra looks towards the giants there, looks towards Zephyros and like, what is with these guys? Why are they all looking at us so expectantly?
I think someone in our party should explain our saga. Explain the ordeal we have had to go to get here, and impress upon them how we are trying to help. And I don't know how we're trying to help, but I think someone in our party, and I don't think it should be tomorrow, should speak for our party and explain to them the important quest that we have been on.
Okay. Are you guys going to mention killing one of the giant counts?
I think we could just gloss over that.
Because we're part of the Liars Club.
But is the count against everybody here? Because if he's their enemy, it might work toward our advantage.
You don't have access to that information. The Harshnag and Zephyros don't know. Actually, let's rewind in time, like a little bit. We're getting to the end of the Giants conversation. Harshnag and Zephyros have this powwow with you, and you guys still have access to Fella. You can ask information to Fella if you want. So you could ask something like that to Fella.
I think then we should. We should
we
mention
should.
the account and how he died, and it was inevitable. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but yeah, to see where he thinks we stand with that, if that has crossed the line.
So they're not sure. Certainly the fire giants are not going to take that well. As it is currently, the Jotun kingdom is in a state of kind of civil war where there's still a semblance of the kingdom they once had, but every faction is currently just operating on their own. So technically you killed a Jotun kingdom count, but if you were to ask, say, the Frost Giants, they would probably say that you killed one of their enemies.
But the count was out to destroy Neverwinter in our minds, and we were trying to stop that. And
Fella's
so
gonna chuckle, and they're gonna say, "Yeah, so are these guys."
I think at the top of his lungs, Azra would whip around and say, Duke Zalto was an asshole, and he died and deserved it.
Oh my god.
Good lord.
Okay, I like this. I love this idea because unless you go into giant form or something,
tomorrow kind of echoed that good lord right after that.
So I'm like, so are you saying that I basically sound like a mouse to them?
Yes, you're shouting, just completely lost the roar of Jotun conversation.
I'm guessing they may not even understand what he's saying because he didn't say it in Jotun.
Yes. Okay.
What do our Giants friend say after that outburst?
They continue talking amongst themselves. They're still in the middle of their giant conversation at this point. So Harshnag and Zephyros. Well, I should stop referring to both of them at the same time. I think that Harshnag recommends keeping that quiet unless somebody asks, and if they do ask, just say that we took the conch by right of conquest in order to come here and have this meeting. They'll respect that.
Can you remind me, remind Tamara, like the backstory? We had to get the conch. We got the conch. We blew the conch. We ended up here. But tell me our motive. What is our what? So we're here to unite the Giants, right?
Yep.
That's our main thing. So
there's two things. Several party members have their own goals and motivations. Wex and Sabek both wanted to know what information was being hidden to the Eye of the Allfather. Technically, neither of them are here anymore, but you guys are presumably curious. You guys want to stop the Jotun Civil War because humans. I'm going to use humans as a stand-in for all of the non-Jotun races. So humans were getting kind of hurt in the crossfire, in this civil war.
Collateral damage.
And you guys wanted to stop that civil war, to stop the collateral damage from happening. And now it sounds like there might be an even bigger threat on the horizon, which is that the giants unite again, but they unite with the purpose of conquering the humans.
Shit.
You guys want to stop all of that, but the big tool that you have in your arsenal is the Horn of Winter, which, when blown, allows the person who blows it to kind of restructure giant society as they see fit. But the Eye of the Allfather didn't know where that is. He only knows that whatever is hiding it is in this city. So somewhere in this city is somebody who is obscuring the location of this horn that can stop the war and theoretically would give you guys control over giant society, which could theoretically be used to stop any future wars or whatever. That's kind of a
yeah. That seems like that's what we should fucking do.
Yeah.
I think our giants friends should speak to us and suggest that the humans also should have a seat at the table here in discussing the matters. We're not giants, but still we have a stake in this at this point.
Oh, we're just
our proof is that we have shown up.
So that fellow will be able to get you in front of them to talk. But so right now we just need to agree on what you guys are going to say. I think one good starting point is, are you guys going to even attempt to avert this war that the princesses Mirren and Nim are trying to start? Or are you going to entirely focus on finding whatever is blocking the Eye of the Allfather?
I think
Azra is only interested in finding what's blocking the Eye of the Allfather. He remembers that, or it remembers that from Sabek's quest.
Okay.
Tamara thinks we should be diplomatic and we should try to intervene and stop them from having a civil war, because lots of giants will die, and it's going to be bad in the long run.
Okay. You could theoretically accomplish the same thing with the horn if you can find it.
Yeah, I say we find the thing that's hiding.
What tools do we have to help us find that horn?
You can talk to the council, or you can do an investigation around the city. Theoretically, you guys don't need to do this. You could walk away and go talk to guards and see if anything suspicious has happened recently or whatever.
Well, I think this is a good opportunity while we're here with these high-level people to try and talk, but we don't speak Jotun. Some of us understand it, and I'm not sure how we're going to get information except through our giant friends.
So, and Ronan is able to speak giant. So, you have 3 points of translation there. Okay, so do you guys have a general idea of what you want to say when you go up there?
I think we ought to split up and each of us take a giant friend and go mingle and try to learn more information. Maybe ask some questions about this.
So you don't want to do a whole
Neverwinter.
formal like consulting the council. You just want to go talk to various giants. I'm good with that.
Yeah, I think we want to try and glean some information. Maybe we can find some clues as to where to go look.
Work the room first.
Cool. Then instead of what I said,
hello, I am a mouse. I have a question.
Yeah.
Right. So instead of what I said before, what's going to happen is fella goes out and requests a recess, a let's say 45-minute recess. And during that time, they also are going to introduce the party of Harshnag, Zephyros, and their 5, let's just call it human for now, companions. Yeah, there's definitely some reactions to Harshnag and Zephyros. Clearly, these giants have opinions on them, but that is the recess is called. So you guys will have an amount of time. We're saying 45 minutes for now, but however long, to go mingle and talk to whoever you feel appropriate. Who wants to go with who?
I'm gonna go with Zai. We need to find the horn.
Yeah. Let's find that horn.
Do you want... I feel like Lunara is gonna want to go with Harshnag.
100%.
Okay. Ronan, do you want to go with Lunara?
Yes, I would go with Lunara.
Okay. Tamara, do you want to go with Zephyros?
Yes. That sounds good.
Hey, Gimbal and Azra, do you guys want to go with Zephyros to use him as a translator and talk to a bunch of giants, or do you guys want to go off on your own and just like look for this thing?
We're just wandering. I think we should just wander around and look for this thing.
Fucking works for me.
I'm in.
Okay. I want to start with you guys then.
All right.
Okay. This is going to take a little longer than I anticipated, but I'm excited with where it's going. How do you want to start?
Azra, let's get out of here and look around.
Yeah, I'm with that. I think I see some stairs over to the side, over to our south, I guess.
Yeah.
Around here. Why don't we go around there? Why don't we look and see what we can find?
Okay. This will be interesting. Because you guys are already guests who are part of a committee that's going around and talking to people, I don't think it's much of a struggle to slip down into those stairs unnoticed, especially because you're so teeny tiny. Let's see. Okay, so that sign says down to 2, but you're on level 2. So that sign is just a liar, is what that sign is.
I love that sign.
Okay. Well, here's where I want you guys to go, so I think that's just where I'm going to say that it goes, unless the map does not allow for that. Okay. Give me a second to make sure that this maps up. Okay, it does. Perfect. So you two, I am going to copy you, and I'm going to move you over to map level 3. Oh, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be very interesting. You guys, you finish coming up the stairs.
Everything's black. Sorry.
Okay, I'm just revealing the whole map right away.
All right.
Maybe I shouldn't do that. Yeah. I hope you had a good look.
No, I was black the whole time.
Well, okay.
Oh, we run into this problem a lot.
Okay. So, you guys are on okay. Are you guys able to see now? No dynamic lighting?
Still black.
No. Me. I'm gonna try to refresh the page. See if that
Sure.
works.
Do that, and I'll go ahead and turn off dynamic lighting everywhere just to be safe.
If you refresh, you should be good.
Okay, that's a pain. Okay. Well, and let me go ahead and grab a proper sprite for that guy. Copy. No, he would be one of these. Copy. Oops. Level 3. Paste. Delete. Okay. So you guys poke your head up the stairs. You see a very long hallway by your standards, probably not super long by giant standards. It looks like it's maybe a little over 200 feet. With 4 doors coming off of it, and leaning against one wall is a bored-looking guard.
Does he look angry or like scary?
He doesn't see you right now.
I still can't see anything.
bored.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's all
I'm
black.
seeing all black. I mean, I'm not there on level 3, but
Have
all
you guys
black.
refreshed?
Yeah, I've refreshed a few times, so I'm still not.
Have you zoomed around the map? There's only one part of the map that's revealed.
Yeah, it's like a small corner in the upper right.
Let me try to get up there.
I saw you clicking earlier. I saw the ring.
Okay,
but
I
I
see.
haven't seen-
I see it now.
I see it after refresh.
Yeah.
Okay, I see it now.
Okay. So, guard.
It's a giant guard.
Yep. He's a storm giant guard. You see him wearing the same armor that you've associated with other storm giant guards you've seen so far. It's like plate mail, but it looks almost like it was made out of coral.
Yeah. Well, that guy's not standing in front of any of the doors. Why don't we try to sneak towards this edge of this one right here, just in case?
So because you're just walking through the middle of an open space, I'm going to need to know what your strategy is for sneaking.
Sticking close to the wall and not like, kind of like how they treated the whole T-Rex in Jurassic Park. Don't move around a whole lot when you're right in this field of view.
Are you going for this door, which is one that's kind of out of his field of view?
Yep.
I'm assuming he's looking like this way.
All right. Yeah, that's why I clicked over there. So yeah.
Then I'm gonna need both of you to make a stealth check.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna go with armored flesh too.
Wow.
Actually, I'm gonna say that if you can choose to do that, but if you do, it's gonna give you a disadvantage on your stealth because you would have clinky clanky bone armor that would be loud.
Okay. Not yet then.
Okay. Wow. So Sabek, Azra, you have advantage on this because you're small and he's bored, but on your advantage roll, you rolled a nat 1. So here's what I'm gonna say. I think Gimbal moves a little bit faster than you. Paradoxically, because he's real small. But he's able to he's a monk, he can move real fast. He he sneaks down and he is able to slip in between a crack in the doors. As you are sneaking, you you know what it is? Your greatsword dings against the wall as you're trying to squeeze it.
Oh shit.
And the guard looks over. Gimbal has already gotten into the next room, but you have not, and he sees you and he does the usual guard, like, what are you doing here? How do you react?
Who goes there?
At this moment, I think Azra remembers the thing that his party taught him, which was lying.
Very good.
Yes. Gimbal's like, this is the perfect time to lie.
He looks at the guard like, oh man, I am glad I found you. Dude, they're making like choices and decisions about something important upstairs. They said that everybody was needed, but for some reason, nobody called you. So I thought I would come down. You know, I'm a guest. I just want to help out. You should go up there.
Gimbal joins him and he's like, yeah, what this guy said. I'm here on official business, guy.
No, Gimbal, you weren't caught. You're in the room, I think.
No, but I walked next to you.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
We're deceiving him.
Okay. Sabek, make a deception roll and have advantage because of
Word.
I'm in the liar's club too.
Because of Gimbal's help.
yeah.
Oh man, I literally
We're
have
liars together.
a 0 deception.
Is there any way that Wex can aid this role?
No.
I can aid.
I was just trying to help.
Wait,
Well-
Wex isn't even downstairs.
Aim
I'm
for the
a
bushes.
four.
But he can feel when people are lying.
Can I roll 2?
No, you gave him assistance, which gave him advantage, and his advantage roll
Okay.
came up 10. So the giant is going to say, well, that's a plausible story, but we don't have any human guests. Fly criminal scum.
No. You don't understand, man. This is like a new thing.
Yeah,
You
we're
probably
not humans.
Here. I'm not even human. Look, and I turn into a spider. I just do a spider baby.
Okay. I need you guys to make
Oh my
dexterity.
gosh.
Dexterity?
Yes.
Y'all couldn't just have stayed downstairs, huh?
Nah.
We have not even had a chance to parlay yet.
Should I roll dex?
Yeah.
We both got to do it.
Dexterity save. Okay. And yeah, you guys are going to take a lot of damage.
Oh,
What?
That's a really big number.
Oh!
Also,
That's a bigger number.
Jesus.
It's gonna be.
did one of you just die?
I died.
Gimbal.
oh,
Gimbal is unconscious. And Ezra has 2 health remaining.
oh shit.
Damn.
I made
Oh my
you go to
God.
storm guards a little bit.
Azra just looks at Gimbal twitching on the ground and then looks at the giant and is like, oh, you son of a bitch, and grabs Gimbal and starts running for the fucking stairs.
Okay. Fuck. This is so good. Make just a straight up and down dexterity roll. You're not going to be contesting anything here. You can make it a dexterity save if you want.
I mean, it's still just a 1 either way, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Come on. 14 is... So 14, he's going to be chasing you, but you're going to be able to grab Gimbal and get down the stairs. So I'm going to move us back to floor 2.
Sorry.
This is so not fair. We did not ask for this.
I think this has been like, I think this has actually been like 10 minutes because you guys had to climb all the way up those massive stairs.
When Azra gets up or down or up the stairs, I can't remember the direction that we're going. But he remembers again the skill of lying and starts shouting to the room, "The Storm Giants are trying to start a coup!"
The Storm Giants are the leaders!
I am an agent of chaos.
Also, all they're gonna hear is squeak, 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 squeak. Oh, look, it's Ratatouille.
I love this shit so much.
You guys taught me to lie. This is y'all's fault.
This is glorious. Okay.
Gimbal would be proud.
Okay. So that all is.
So Gimbal's just knocked out, right? He's not dead or anything.
No, he's
a man conscious.
And actually, I think he's going to wake up partway down the run downstairs, but he still has 0 health, and he's still like in and out of consciousness. We'll get back to that. That has not yet happened. We're now going to see what the other groups did with their first. Oh God.
I think the other group.
Great job, Zay.
The other group are having snacks, and they're at the buffet, and their little glass of wine or something, some punch. We're trying to have a nice conversation with these giants.
Okay. Tamara or Lunara and Ronan, which of you guys want to go first?
Tomorrow will go first. So,
okay. You and Zephyros, who do you want to go talk to?
Who was the lady? Who was the person who was talking earlier? Who was talking to all the giants?
Fella, they're kind of like a secretary.
Okay, we'll talk to her.
Okay. So you go talk to Fella again. What do you want to ask?
I want to say, well, why is everybody so upset? Why are all of the giants so upset with each other?
So
on the verge of civil war.
Oh, we're actively in the middle of a civil war. So for millennia, for all of time, Jotunkind has been united by a concept called the ordning, which we can just feel in our souls, and it tells us how we're supposed to form our society. You can think of it a little bit like how you just naturally feel towards like a child. You have some natural instincts to protect them and care for them. We have just natural instincts that tell us how our society works. And that has kept us in caste system. Every few hundred years, the cycle will break and the ordning goes away, and it is a time of great tumult and chaos that gives us an opportunity to restructure our society. But normally when that happens, a giant goes on a quest to find the Horn of Winter, to blow it and start the ordning over again. But nobody's been able to find it this time. It's been over a year now, and it's never taken this long for giant kinds to find the horn. So because there is no ordning, there's nothing telling us how to be a society. So we're kind of in a state of anarchy right now. And so
I want to ask, is anyone actively looking for this horn right now?
Every one of the
on this quest.
Yeah, every one of the giant clans has adventurers out looking for it, scouring the world. That's part of what has gotten your people caught up in crossfire is people, our people going and searching, human cities and kind of like picking up a building and seeing if the horn's under there. No, it isn't. So just toss the building off to the side, go on to the next one, kind of thing. Because whoever finds the horn will be at the top of giant society for the next hundreds of years. But no, nobody has been able to find it yet.
So, a couple thoughts. Do you have any kind of a natural leader who could lead the people in the meantime until this horn is found? And do you have any clue as to where the horn is?
So our leaders are, well, normally we would have King Hecaton, who's the leader of the Storm Giants and has been our ruling king for hundreds of years since the last ordning. But he went missing recently. We know that humans murdered his wife shortly before the ordning broke. God bless the queen. We all loved her, and she's gone. And there's some bad feelings there towards your people because of it. But nobody knows what has happened to King Hecaton since. So because he's not here to unite us, we have his heirs. We have his 3 daughters, Mirren, Nim, and Sarissa. Sarissa is his youngest daughter, and she's actually the queen, the heir regent. But Mirren and Nim are kind of bullying her and making themselves into the de facto leaders, and kind of taking things out of her hands.
Would they lose their position of authority if this horn was found and blown? Because wouldn't that like reshuffle everything?
Yes, they would lose their position of authority unless they were the ones to find it. But also, they already have lost their positions of authority, kind of. Right now, they have implied authority right now. They have the authority of remembered generations, but they don't have real authority. If the horn was found, then somebody else would have an actual proper giant kingdom. As it is right now, they are like, it's kind of like a presidential race, and they are like the it's
well,
like there's somebody who like was vice president in the past, and therefore like everyone just kind of assumes that they'll be president at some point. There's nothing to actually imply that they will be the ones who keep power if we figure things out on our own. But if somebody else takes power, they will definitely not keep it.
Tomorrow asks who might profit from the horn not being found, because perhaps someone is hiding the horn and does not want it to be found, or wants the giants to have a civil war that might hurt a lot of humans.
I would say no giant would benefit from that. Any giant would know any giant who had the horn would want to blow the horn to remake society in their image. Even somebody that was like an anarchist that didn't believe that we should have the ordning would be able to blow the horn and just undo the ordning. So it's probably not a giant if somebody is hiding it. So that would leave a sentient race other than giants. There's humans and other small folk. You guys don't really benefit from it because you guys were mostly peaceful with giants in the past, but things have gone pretty bad since the ordning broke for you guys. So I would think that if you guys could reforge the ordning, you would want to.
We haven't killed any. We haven't killed this queen, have we?
No, you haven't.
Okay.
And I suppose the other things that it could be is I mean, there could be just like some evil demonic cult. They're always crazy.
Is there some kind of magic that could help us to find it? Like, detect magic?
Let me answer that in a second. The other one is dragons, because dragons hate giants and giants hate dragons, and we've been fighting each other since time immemorial. So they're always up to some nasty shit, and also they're plotty little bastards. So yeah, if somebody's up to some evil, nasty plot here, I blame the dragons. Also, fuck dragons.
Are there any dragons around?
You guys met a dragon named Imrith who was walking into the Eye of the Allfather, way back when. Well, you didn't, but Zephyros can recall that you guys encountered that. That might be suspicious. It would be a little bit weird for a dragon to go into a Jotun temple, but that's all you have.
Okay. All right, and you were going to answer my question about, is there some kind of magic, or can we seek someone who has an ability?
So you have, actually. That's why you guys went to the Eye of the Allfather, and that's been like the form of like half of the campaign. Was Harshnag and Zephyros wanted to go to the Oracle, the Eye of the Allfather, and have it just tell them where the Horn of Winter is, but it couldn't tell them because something is blinding it, and whatever is blinding it is in this city. So you guys, that
so
doesn't mean that the horn is in this city
necessarily here, but what is blinding it?
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Doesn't help much. We still don't know what's blinding it or where it's at.
No, but I think you got a lot of good information there. Ronan and Lunara, who do you guys want to go talk to?
I'm at a crossroads right now.
Oh, hey, I forgot to narrate something while we were doing talking about the giant council conversation thing. This is an important detail. So the two princesses are pushing for war against the small people and want to use that as a uniting factor to bring the kingdom back together. And all of the giant clans seem to be going along with that. If only as like, well, sure, this is a little easier than doing a civil war. Maybe we can do this, civilly and just work together to hurt the small people. And
are the princesses storm giants?
Huh?
Are the princesses storm giants?
Yes.
Okay.
There was one faction that has been pushing for peace and has been pushing to have everybody kind of like chill the fuck out, and like we can work together, we can unite, we can form a society that makes everyone happy, and we don't have to kill a bunch of small people to do so. And that faction was led by this person here, who fella identifies as Vasha.
What is it? She a cloud giant?
She's a storm giant.
Oh, she's a storm giant.
Yep.
Okay.
This guy, Orlecto, is also a storm giant, and he seems to be on the same page as the two princesses. So Vasha is the only person who's arguing against the princesses.
Gotcha. All right. Well, when it comes back to Gimbal and I have a question about some of our continuity. I wrote about it in the
Was it
Discord.
about the electric dragon thing?
Yeah.
So I think the last time that you were in... The last time dragon shit came up and you were actually in like a draconic form, you...
I looked it up. Like, I looked at the chat history. It is electric dragon.
Yes, but are you just permanently in draconic form right now?
I think I was supposed to be permanently in like half draconic form, like, because that's what Sabek was before he died.
Then I would say you are resistant, but not immune. So
Word.
I will allow you took 67 damage. So I will allow that you took half of that, which is 30. What's half of 67?
33 and a half.
34, yeah, 33. Yeah,
Okay.
let's just say 33.
Okay, so I'm adding 33 health back into your bar.
Cool.
Okay. And I imagine that even so, you would still want to grab your injured buddy and get down the stairs, right?
Oh yeah, there would have been no difference in what I was actually doing in that scene.
Good. So, Ronan
Is
and
Gibble stabilized because he's grabbed him and
he's stabilized. He's not bleeding out, but he's semi-conscious. And those two haven't shown back up in this room yet, so don't worry about them just yet. So, Lunara, who you want to go talk to?
Yeah, my side is like, Lunara, I don't know what you guys are trying to do here, but I'm like cool with whatever you want to do. So we can talk to the princesses or some of the people down at the bottom of the room who look kind of pissy. Where would you like to go?
First of all, I kind of want like Harshnag to like, I'm gonna like follow him, but like I kind of just want him to make rounds around the room, see if anybody like, I know you said that like some people were reacting to him. I want to do an investigation check. I want to see if I can find what's blocking the Eye of the Allfather from seeing what's going on. I want to see if I can kind of detect anything that's going on here.
Okay. So you want him to just stick you on his shoulder and go for a walkabout?
Yeah, because I want a bird's eye view, absolutely.
And not have any deep conversation, just like say hi to a bunch of people?
Yeah, for sure. Because like I would also think that like since like Lunara and Ronan come from like a traveling troupe of entertainers, like we kind of know how to act very like dignified and like we belong at parties even if we don't. So it's just kind of like we're there and we do the whole small talk.
If you don't, because you definitely don't.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it's like a whole natural thing, like, oh hey, yeah, good to see you. But like I'm just looking around. I don't care about any of these people just yet.
Yeah. Okay. I have stuck you guys on his shoulders. Okay. So you go around. The cloud giants are indifferent to you guys. They just want to continue their conversation. In fact, I think the leader of the cloud giants, Vol, greets Harshnag like an old friend, and Harshnag, says hi politely as he keeps going. Harshnag, I think, wants to just kind of edge around the fire giants, if that's all right with you. He's going to.
If they say something, I'm going to be upset.
Hmm?
I'll say something back if they say something to us.
I mean, I think they give you the side eye, but they don't come over to you.
All right, good.
He heads over, and he's going to talk to this guy, Orlecto.
Mm-hmm.
And Orlecto is kind of pompous. Orlecto he makes some comments that imply that Harshnag has kind of fallen off the grid. He's supposed to be a knight of the kingdom, and he's kind of gone AWOL and is doing his own thing, which I mean, everybody is doing right now, but he's not even acting under the command of the frost giants. And so I think Orlecto makes some like playful banter with him that on the surface could just be like you know, fellow knights making small talk, but there's an underlying current of like you know
Yeah.
Yeah, he's being
like
like very giant petty.
very giant petty. That's a good way to put it.
Yo, giant petty ass.
He's the Regina George of the Giants. Like,
fucking
oh, hey, Harshnag, that's a great axe. Ooh, you lost your
Giant
arm?
Karen.
Ooh, sucks.
yes. Okay. So then Harshnag walks over and he talks to the hill giants. And if you'll remember, the hill giants, their skin is made of like soil, and they've got like grass growing all over them, especially as like their hair. And they kind of look like giant walking gardens. They look cool as shit. They're also very rotund, and based on the ones you met, not like super smart. They're just a little bit slow. You guys walk over and you meet Krek. Krek does not seem to see any significance of Harshnag, but Krek is hitting on Harshnag in a very not subtle way that might be considered sexual harassment in the workplace.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh
And
how
and
dare?
very, very kind of with as much politeness as he can muster, thanks her and goes on his way.
Yeah, you just kind of hear this tiny squeak from his shoulder, like, he's married!
He's going to, as he walks away, he's going to lean over to you. Domestic partnership, but same thing. Okay. He's going to walk up and he's going to greet Vasha. And Vasha, I think he's actually going to very gently like pick you guys up off of his shoulder and put you in his hand so his arms are free, and he's going to give her a big wide hug. And he says like, Vasha, it's so good to see you. Like, man, it's an absolute shit show out here these days, and it's good to know that, you know, I have more people on my side working fighting the good fight. It's very clearly implied that Vasha and Harshnag are kind of in on something.
While Harshnag is hugging Vasha, is it possible for Lunara to slip out of his hand and fall into one of her pockets?
You know what? She doesn't have a pocket easily accessible, but she has a whole lot of hair.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I want to get up in there.
Oh wow.
Ronan?
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna aid that because I'm also going to jump off here too.
Are you also getting in her hair?
Yeah, I'm also getting in the hair.
Okay. And to be clear, she has this beautiful, like, softly lavender white hair that seems to be common among all storm giants. And then she also has the same color as feathers growing out of her helmet, like Valkyrie style. So you do that, and then as Harshnag walks away, he looks down into his hands and sees that you're missing, and then he gets alarmed and he starts walking back and forth and is looking around and looking on the floor, and he doesn't want to say anything in case you're up to something. He doesn't want to blow your cover, but he's kind of asking Vasha like, "Oh, hey, I think I might have dropped something. Do you see anything over here? What do you guys want to do?"
Don't we have Rocky Talkies? Can't we just like signal him with like a walkie talkie break?
I will allow that. I will allow that you guys have one and he has one. That's going to be interesting. How are you going to do that?
I want to tell Harshnag to play it cool and keep making his rounds because I want to have a conversation with Vasha.
Okay, fucking awesome. I think he gets his little blip on his walkie-talkie. He holds it up and he whispers into it, and you whisper back, and he, acknowledges and then heads on his way. Oops, Vasha go down here. Harshnag go over here. Harshnag, because he no longer has to work with you guys, he sees the next group over, and he does not want to go talk to them. So he's going to willingly go back over to the hill giants, and there is some very uncomfortable flirting happening there. Okay, so you're in Vasha's hair, literally in her hair. What are you gonna do?
I just remembered that I don't speak Jotun.
Ronan does.
Okay, right. I want to ask Ronan and just be like, hey, so I'm going to get her attention. And as soon as I do, before she has a chance to freak out, ask her what her plan with Harshnag is. And then I'm going to take a whole handful of hair and just yank.
Why?
Because I'm chaotic.
Agents of chaos abound.
Okay, so I'm trying to imagine, because you guys are 1/3 the size of a giant, which means I've been saying that you guys are the size of like house cats compared to them. So you've got two essentially like house cats that are like, you're like standing on her. You can't completely like be in her hair. You're not like ants. But I think you can kind of stand in her plate mail and like cover yourself in her hair so she's out of the. And yeah, you're definitely big enough that you can get a good handful and give a good yank. So, Ronan, you pull up next to her ear. What do you say?
Oh man, I wasn't ready for her to pull the hair too. So
All part of the plan.
yeah, we're agents of chaos. It's like we need to chat. Don't make a scene. What are you doing with our friend Harshnag? We need to know.
Okay. Vasha definitely stiffens, and she is going to excuse herself with her entourage to go to the ladies' room, and is going to walk out of the door down to the south. She actually can't go in there, but she's just gonna kind of get off to the side of the room. There's a big door to the south of her here, so this is pretty quiet, as private as it's going to get. And she is going to now know that you're in her hair, and she's going to reach a hand back behind her to give you something to sit on so she can talk to you face to face.
I thought we were about to get crushed.
No. Vasha's cool. We like Vasha.
Cool beans.
As soon as we get up under her hand, I'm going to be like, by the way, nice hair. I'm a fan of the white myself, as you can probably tell.
Yeah, totally. It looks good on you.
Oh, thanks, girl.
Okay, so she has I think she has to get one of you in each hand, because again, house cat. I've tried holding two house cats in one arm. You can do it, but it's a goddamn wrangle. It's kind of like the opposite of doing a bull ride. So Vasha's actually going to sit down on the floor and kind of hold the two of you out in front of her so she can have a semi-private conversation with you. And she's going to say, yes, so you were asking about me and Harshnag?
Yeah, what's the plan? What's going on? What you guys up to? It sounds like you're up to something, and I don't like not being in on stuff when we're up to something.
I'm gonna
So,
relay that,
the
but
three of
not
us.
as hectic.
The three of us, me, Harshnag, and Zephyros, and a few other allies spread throughout the various families, the various groups of giants, we're people who want the giants to have a society together that is based on peace and that is not based on oppression of those weaker than us. And we just believe that we have some values that are worth upholding. And with the ordning broken, this is the best opportunity we've had in a long time to enact serious change.
So how many do you have to rally to your cause? Is it enough?
Like maybe 10, depending on how cool some of us can be. Like, not an army. Some of us have influence, some of us have friends that we could maybe convince, but we don't have an army. Our best bet, and then she kind of pauses and realizes that she's saying too much, and then just shakes her head and says, "We have a plan. Don't worry about it. Ideally, we would like to find."
I would like to attempt a persuasion check. We need to worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Do a persuasion check. Okay. Fuck yeah, that's a fantastic freaking check. Okay, she looks the other direction and okay, you know what it is? Yeah, I think you say something, and do you say it in a kind of like flattering, like trying to get her guard down kind of way?
Yeah, I would think that Lunara goes the route of you could have a lot more people on your side, potentially a whole liars club, but the liars club needs to be in the know.
Okay, so I think that the way that I really like this being a nat 20 is I think you say some stuff and it's very convincing, and you see Vasha blush a lot. And, and after
and then I want to ask her if she's single, just by chance.
Okay, look, there's a
And it's totally embarrassing because I have to ask Ronan to ask her if she's single for me.
So fucking
I'm just like asking this through like my palm that's now gone through my face. It's not cool, and I'm not happy with this.
I forgot that you were translating for her.
Okay.
I think that every person involved right now is just beat red and like not making eye contact. And Vasha says, okay, well, the plan was Harshnag, well, Zephyros is helping him, but the goal has always been that Harshnag would go on an epic adventure and he would be the one who finds the Horn of Winter before anyone else, and he would blow it, but instead of reforming the ordning as it has been or forming a new ordning, we want him to break the ordning. We want him to break it forever so that giants will have free will and not be trapped into this like biological slavery that has held our society together for so long.
Oh damn.
I'm into this.
Yeah. It's cool as shit.
Yeah.
And she's single, right?
I want to emphasize the need to know whether or not she's single.
Yeah. Like it's important to the plan.
she chuckles and she says, I mean, yeah.
Okay, well you're not anymore because you're my girlfriend now. What's
okay,
up?
But Ronan has to translate that for you.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
just gonna look at you, and I'm gonna need some concrete assurance that I get something out of this in the end, because this is really upsetting.
I shake my coin purse at him.
Oh my god.
Like there's 30 gold in it. All you got to do is say it.
I take the coins and I add them to my total.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna need you guys to actually make a monster here, and then Ronan, you translate.
So, my sister here, I don't know if I explained this earlier, that this is my sister, is now your girlfriend. So you two are together, and
So fucking good.
that's
okay,
cool, right?
so you know, in anime, we're not doing the nosebleed thing because that's lame. You know, in anime, when somebody's face just like turns, it's like solid red, and you just see it like bubbling up from the bottom to the top of their face, and then you see that little burst of steam shoot out the top.
Yes.
That exact scene plays out. She has to turn away and just catch her breath for a second. She's gonna laugh and say, well, cool. Okay, cool. We'll talk. We'll totally find a way to talk where we don't need a translator.
I'm just gonna cut her off, and I'm gonna hand her one of the Rocky Talkies. I'm just gonna give it to her and be like, "You're gonna need this for later."
She's gonna give you a thumbs up and say, "Cool, thanks." Do y'all need me for anything else?
I would like to ask her if she would know about any. Well, I would like Ronan to ask her if she would know about anything in here that has the ability to block magic. Powerful magic.
She does not. There's the throne is a pretty powerful magical artifact, but it doesn't do that kind of magic. It's more of just it creates big fucking powerful storms and shit. Give me 1 second. There we go. Sorry, Cat was eating my leftovers. I had to put them in the fridge. Okay. So, the throne can make some powerful storms. That's about it. Do you have any other questions? I'm enjoying this line of conversation, and we can go on down this as long as you want. I will point out that poor Harshnag over there is currently getting a back massage from Krek.
Yeah, no, I feel like we need to make our way back over and relieve.
Yeah, let's go intervene.
Okay. Any other questions while we're walking?
Not that I can think of. Do you have any, Ronan?
Yeah, I'm kind of interested to know like what her feelings are about the two princesses.
Oh, they fucking suck. No, we haven't liked them for a long time. They're spoiled, and they're the worst kind of like imperialist inherited privilege that's totally unearned. All of that. And Sarissa, King Hecaton's third youngest daughter, has always been a sweetheart, and there's a very good reason that the king made it very clear in his will that she is his inheritor and not either of her sisters. Unfortunately, her two sisters have really good control or have this big influence steel thing with the with Sarissa's advisor Imrith, who's just this awful.
Hold on. Did you just say that Sarissa's advisor was Imrith?
Do you know her?
I wish I didn't.
So
Listen, I wish
I'm gonna
I
look to
didn't.
Lunara and go, who the fuck is Emmerich?
I'm gonna look at Ronan and be like, dude, so like a couple of weeks ago, we almost died. She's this big, scary dragon lady, and she's like Sabek's mom, and she's just like really scary.
So when you say that, Vasha is going to like almost basically do the equivalent of like a spit take, and suddenly like she was walking back into the room, and now she's going to very quickly turn around and start walking away from the room. Like, say that again. Did you say Imrith is a dragon?
Yes. Did you not know she was a dragon?
She's definitely a big blue giant. Like, she's a frost giant.
Excuse me? Do giants typically turn into dragons? Because I'm 1000% sure she turned into a dragon.
When you say turned into, was she something other than a dragon?
Before she was just a lady, and then she went and she was a dragon next.
You realize that I'm gonna have to like do hand animations for that, and then make that noise?
I would think that like Lunara's doing the hand animations and like Ronan's just talking at the same time.
Yeah,
I'm just like in her
like
hand going.
I'm doing like the
She's
real
going
quick,
to-
like the
she's
finger
going to
lady.
rub her head, and she's going to say, "Okay, is she kind of like very deep, rich blue skin, like sleek face, and then she kind of just like gestures to her chest and then gestures outward, in a way that you immediately know, yeah, that's her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Fuck.
She's got those two
Shit.
elves with her that also turn into dragons when they take potions.
So is this
Well,
a problem?
This is bad?
Why?
Fuck me. Fuck, where do I even go from here? We need to go get Harshnag now.
All right,
Okay.
we need to head back over because this is a mess. This is a big mess.
Okay, you find Harshnag, who is very like awkwardly handling his axe like a fidget that somebody might use if they're very uncomfortable. As Krek has the back rub has turned into a shoulder rub that's getting a little bit into the chest region. And Vasha just grabs his arm and tows him away from him. And he is very grateful. But the two of him, the lot of you are going to go meet up with Zephyros and Dad's character. I should know that. Tamara, thank you. And right about this same time, you guys see Azra come jumping down the stairs in leaps and bounds, and then running out into the room. Has Azra gone full dragon trying to escape this guy?
I don't think Azra can go. Actually, no. Azra can go full dragon. He just hasn't.
I don't know if he knows that giants really, really dislike dragons.
Yeah, he hasn't gone full dragon at this point. Hence the whole resistance versus not being immune to the lightning bolt. But I would imagine during that run down the stairs, I would have like poured some of these health potions in Gimble's mouth because they can't do anything for me, and I think I have a few.
I think I have like 9. Let me check.
Okay. I will allow that Gimbal has healed up to like well, let's just do a couple potion rolls. That's
So I have 12 regular.
Do you know what the roll is? I think it's 3d6 plus 9, something like that.
Yeah, let me check the bio. My notes say 2d4 plus 2 for the regular, and the greater is 8d4 plus 8.
Well, that can't be right. Okay, so this would be close to the equivalent of you taking 2 of them. I'm gonna call it 17.
Okay.
So you're up to 17 health, and you are now like eventually you have to kind of like slip out of Sabek's arms so you can run alongside him. And the two of you are running down the stairs, pursued by Giant. The Giant is swinging his sword at you guys, and I think it's a little bit of like a Bugs Bunny kind of sequence where like he's swinging and you guys are like comically like skipping over his sword or ducking under it each time he swings.
This whole time, Azra is shouting that there's a cloud giant coup, and he's not going to do this, I guess, until he gets within earshot of the fire giants. But once he gets in earshot of the fire giants, he just screams, "The cloud giants are starting a coup, and they took out Zalto. They did it. They did it. This is how you treat diplomats." Ah!
Oh God. Fuck it. It's good drama. You are able to run into the room. You slip past a few fire giants that have gone to blockade the way as this storm giant runs by. And there's a lot of shouting happening right now. You don't know exactly what's happening with the shouting, but the guards have all walked into the room. Everybody, it's kind of like in any given movie where you have a bunch of like Viking clans get together, and there's that mandatory scene where like one thing happens and suddenly every person in the room has a sword in their hand. It's that every person in this room has a sword in their hand. But you guys have gotten off. You've caught back up with your group, who's kind of separate, and you guys are able to step off into the other room and catch everybody back up while chaos ensues. This is not how I thought this game was going to go, but I'm very happy.
All right. Well, can I interrupt for a minute? I have an idea for tomorrow.
Absolutely.
All right. So while there's all this chaos going on, she's just got updated by.
Getting hard to hear you, Randy.
Sorry. Let me turn up my volume. So
there we go.
Tamara wants to slip off like she's going to the ladies' room, and she's going to turn into a mouse form or a rat form and go explore herself, do what the other two were trying to do, and just kind of go and see if she can sneak along the walls and go from room to room. And she's got, as a mouse or a rat, she has like an advantage for perception. She's just going to run around through these rooms and see if she can see anything out of order or perceive if there's some kind of magical item.
So, I love that. It would be very hard for me to keep you grouped up with the party.
Well, that
now?
floor they just came from no longer has a guard now, so.
That's true, but I feel like shit's about to pop off, and if you split from the party right now, you're probably going to be split for a while.
Okay.
Can we table that? Because I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. Well, let's table it and see where things go. But that's her plan, to go try and find this item, is to stealthily go by herself and just, as a very small creature, squeeze under doors and go from room to room looking quickly while everybody else is busy with their arguing and whatnot.
So, everyone, can we recap on what you guys have learned?
I just woke up.
Yes, you did. I don't think that Sabek that Azra and
Azra has learned that the joy of lying creates chaos, and he likes seeing this excitable. So lying is a good thing.
I think that Azra's role in this was less of an educational role, so much as action-based role.
Yeah.
Azra believes in direct action.
Well, that got the ball rolling.
Okay. So Azra doesn't have too much information to exchange other than the current state of affairs, re people killing each other next door.
I mean,
Ronan and Lunara, what do you guys have to share?
But for Sebek, would Azra care to know about the Emmerich stuff?
I mean, if only in that it's like...
If the name Emerith is said while Azra is near, then his ears would definitely perk up. Because
now, is that the only part of him that perks up?
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
Can it?
Yes. I mean, yes, that is the only part of him that perks up. Like, not yes, can it?
Okay, good. Oh God.
Yeah, I wanna let the party. We have to let the party know that Harshnag and my sister's new girlfriend have a thing going on now. I'm not happy about
are you
relaying
saying
that
this
information.
away from the other giants?
I mean, are we back near Zephyros and Harshnag?
So you guys are currently here on the map. Bella is hanging out with you guys because they are not particularly excited to get engaged in the big bar fight that's happening in the other room. But yeah, it's you've got the three giants, and then you also have each of you guys, and you're kind of... I think all of you guys are on the floor right now, so you can talk amongst yourselves. The giants are there, and the giants are talking amongst themselves, but so you can talk to them if you want, but
yeah, I would share all of our information with the group. I feel like they should all be in the know.
Okay.
I also feel like Lunara would just excitedly be like, "Oh, and by the way, this is Vasha, and she's my girlfriend now." So
she brought me here.
So Vasha doesn't know what you just said, but she heard her name and she smiles awkwardly and gives a small wave.
Yes.
Okay. Tamara, I can't remember if you learned any information you wanted to share. It was a while ago. Okay. So, how do you guys want to proceed from here? You know that Imrith is presumably in the building and is acting as the advisor to Princess Sarissa, who is the current regent of all giant kind.
Is there any way we can request an audience?
Fella, like immediately goes into bureaucracy mode, pulls out their notepad, and then looks into this room and says, they step back into your room and they say, that might be bureaucratically complicated at the moment. I'm not saying that I ever support by sidestepping bureaucracy, but this might be one instance where it is more efficient to take some direct action.
So
At that point, Azra's senses fully perk up, and he starts getting a better idea of what he's feeling / smelling, and just bellows out in a voice that sounds curiously like Sabek's mother.
Oh no.
Oh no. And yes, now that you know what to look for.
Also, he goes full dragon.
Fucking great. Fella is going to jump back and go, shit, there's a dragon.
An undead electric dragon.
Gimble's gonna go into rage in reaction, and then armored flesh, just because he's like,
yeah. Vasha immediately goes into attack stance with her staff, and then notices that Harshnag and Zeph are chill, and so she is gonna be chill, but she's very interested in what just happened. Let me go ahead and pop you over to here. And
Yeah.
you a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so you can smell Imrith to the south.
Well, we're not going to be able to stop Azra, so we should just follow.
Now, note that Azra, while he is compulsive and almost childlike, he doesn't have the same, like, I'm gonna murder whatever in front of me behavior as Sabek. So this isn't the same scenario as like, oh, there's a witch, I'm gonna stab her in the face, type of thing. He's more curious and feels separated, like he's supposed to be somewhere where she is, and he doesn't understand why he's not.
Okay, I love it. So, I think Zephyros is going to try to calm Fella down, and so when you guys told Harshnag that the Queen Regent's advisor is Imrith the dragon who ate his arm, he has a reaction to that. He is not pleased to hear that information. And I think he is just as eager to like go off and fight as Azra is. And there's been a little bit of back and forth between him and Zephyros while you guys were talking, and you get the impression that Zephyros is trying very hard to convince Sabek not to go fight Imrith again because of how bad it went last time, and you know, Zephyros doesn't want to lose him and stuff. You know, sappy emotional stuff. But Harshnag agrees to take things easy and not put himself in the situation he was in last time, but also if he can take advantage of this opportunity to 1v1 her, or you know, him plus the entire party v1 her, he wants to do that. And Vasha is absolutely on board to go with him. So, do you guys want to go fucking storm the castle?
Yeah, I'm pretty much attached to Vasha.
Storm the fucking castle.
Yep,
okay.
That's what we're doing.
Zephyros is not a warrior. Zephyros is very uncomfortable about you guys going without him, but he also knows that this is not a fight he can be part of. So he makes sure that him and Sabek both have their stones on, and they're gonna keep each other updated. They're gonna give regular check-ins, and if he doesn't get a check-in from Harshnag every like hour or two, he's gonna start worrying, and he's gonna come after him. So and I think sorry, and to finish that thought, Zephyros is going to stay behind and work with Fella to kind of keep things, try to quiet things down in here, but in particular, try to make sure that you guys don't have an army of guards coming after you. That sound good?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys enter the room, and immediately your first goal, your goal is to get to this door at the south of the room. That's where Sabek can smell Imrith through. And between you and them, there is a horde of fire giants who are fighting storm giants. And there are cloud giants who are fighting a storm giant guard. And then you see the frost giants have gone after the stone giants. And the hill giants have kind of just pulled off to the side and huddled together into a huge mound that is shooting off like tendrils and vines and just like slowly encompassing this corner of the room in like a thick rainforest of greenery. And these storm giants are fighting those fire giants. These storm giants are trying to keep everything, trying to break things up.
Oh dear.
The two princesses are shouting, but have not entered the fray. How do you guys plan to get to the southern door?
Trying to avoid the battle.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna drink some potion first.
They're big.
I have an idea.
Can't we just run between their legs?
I'm curious if it would work.
Mm-hmm.
So if I were to get up on Vash's shoulder and then cast rope trick, would I theoretically get much more height off of that? And then we could all just grab that rope and swing across the room so we don't have to deal with them? Like, obviously the giants can just like muscle their way through, but like I'm thinking about the little people right now.
So rope trick actually, rope trick is a weirdly named spell. It creates it does create a rope that is hanging down from just a point in space like 10 feet above your head.
Yeah.
That's not a lot of swing room for you to get anywhere.
It said 60 feet.
Oh, is it 60 feet?
Yeah, that's why I wanted to do it from Vash's shoulder so I could get 60 feet above that.
It creates a like extra dimensional space you can hide in.
Yeah, I know that that's what it's primarily for, but I was wondering if we could just swing from it.
Rope that is up to 60 feet long. One end of the rope then rises in the air until the whole rope becomes perpendicular to the ground. At the upper end of the rope, an invisible entrance opens to an extra dimensional space that lasts until the spell ends. Spell lasts 1 hour. You climb up the rope to get to it. The rope can be pulled into the space. Okay. Yeah. So I like that. So somebody's gonna have to help me figure out the math here. But so you've got a 60-foot rope. You then pull that back like a pendulum. Let's say you get to 45 degrees. That's going to give you, I think, 60 feet of swing. So, if you guys created the rope... Oh, hold on. If you guys created the rope here, and then Vasha pulled you back to where she's standing now. Let me get out my measuring tape. Oh, no. Oh, this map is not as big. Okay. Hold on. This map is not as colossal as I thought it was. You might be able to do this.
Yeah. Lunara's
Okay.
just a sucker for some good acrobatics. What can she say?
No, I love this shit. I don't know how this is interact with the rest of the party because I don't know how acrobatic the whole party is.
Well, once Lunara gets over there, is it possible she could tie off one end? Because if she could tie it to like some other point over on the other side, then I can just fly people up to it and they'll zip tie across.
Because she isn't because we're talking about like a pendulum. We're talking about some like Laura Croft, you swing on the rope and let go at the right time and you get to jump real far kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
So I like this idea, and this is the whole point of this is to get past that crowd without you guys having to walk through the feet of a battleground. So Vasha is going to walk forward and hold you here while you cast that spell and create the rope. And then you are going to hold on to the rope, and she's going to pull you back to here. And we'll be ready to let go. That's going to give you a full pendulum swing. The pendulum will go as far as this. That will be the end of the pendulum. Let me go ahead and, just for convenience, let's make it yellow. Let's call it a line. Yellow. Oops. Okay. So that is your that is the shape of your pendulum. This this cross here in the middle is where the rope is. Where Vasha is standing is how far back she can pull you. The other point here is how far forward the rope will go, and then you can let go of the rope and go as far as you would. You could probably get as far as like that far, but you would have to fall like 30 feet, I think. So sorry about all that math and figures and shit. If you did this, you could get as far as here, which is pretty far. You're going to land in the middle of a pool after a 30-foot drop.
Oh no! How deep is the pool?
Place to land.
Yeah, we have a bad time in water, but I could cast Feather Fall.
Ooh.
That would help everybody with their acrobatic nonsense.
Yeah, I would totally do that just to make sure the party could get over there safe, but someone has to pull us out of the water.
Choose up to 5 creatures. So that would be... I think
you don't have to count me. I can use my wings.
Yep. Right click. Player, map player. Okay, then I feel like this is something you guys can just do. Sabek can, or Azra can fly. The other 3 of you will have to take turns with the pendulum rope, but you can do that pretty easily. I don't need an acrobatics roll because you're using Featherfall. And 1 cast of Featherfall will affect all of you. So, I'm just gonna move you guys over. This is a good strategy.
Very nice.
Everybody's happy with how this went?
Good, thank you, Lunara.
Okay. Oh, come on. Man. The one problem with doing a giant themed campaign is the fucking scale makes it very hard to target you guys sometimes. Okay, you guys have all made it over here. You're in a pond, except for probably Sabek.
Yeah, because I'm electric. That would hurt people.
Right now, you might really you can decide where to go from here. While you're working on that, Vasha and Harshnag are gonna run up this hill, and they're gonna hop down on the other side once they have a clearing. So they're gonna work their way around to get back to you. So how do you guys want to go from here?
I want Vasha to pick me up out of the pool, and I want her to run straight for the door.
I'm gonna turn into a fish.
Now,
but you can't get out the water then.
Yeah, that's true.
Gimble's small right now, and I'm big. Could I fly him over towards the south?
You can. There's nothing currently.
There's nothing in our way. It doesn't look like,
other than the constantly encroaching jungle that is growing out of the Hill Giant clan.
Do we have?
We need to move quickly.
Hold on. I would like, once Vasha gets me out of the pool, I would like to shoot a flaming arrow at that. Try to see if we can burn that down and get through it.
It's
I was hoping we could go diplomatic, but okay.
This is true.
Which you probably could, but you would know from experience that live plants don't love burning. So it'll
Feel
probably take a little bit of work to make that happen.
Can the giants cut through it?
Yeah.
Okay, well then.
It's also not a wall. It's just like some tangly undergrowth.
Gotcha.
We can also just run toward it and now fly people over, like a quick little hop if they're worried.
Yeah.
Well, is it just difficult terrain?
Right now, you don't know. It might. The vines are kind of writhing, so they might have some degree of sentience and hostility. Okay, you guys all have pulled yourselves out of the pond, right?
Yes.
Okay. Vasha and Harshnag. By the way, let me double check. Vasha's a little too tall. She should be just a touch taller than Harshnag. Okay. So, you guys are gonna run up here. As you approach, you do see that the vines start gathering together and reaching out for you as you get close to them. What do you do?
I'd like to jump on the walkie-talkie to Harshnag and ask Harshnag to blow the hill giant a kiss.
Oh. Yes.
Okay.
Azra is so confused.
Okay. Shit.
Azra doesn't understand what's going on.
Okay, he does. He's very unenthusiastic about this. He's going to run over to this clam here, and he's going to knock on the clam next to the vine to get their attention, and then he is going to blow a kiss into the crowd, and you see the whole the force stop and then pull in on itself a little bit and then start reaching out for Harshnag.
Oh no. God.
and Harshnag is going to book it. What do you guys?
I mean, we can.
Did this create an opening?
Yeah.
It created an opening. Yes.
Yes, let's go.
Through the opening.
Okay. Vasha is going to shepherd you guys through the opening. And then she looks back over her shoulder anxiously as the lines go after Harshnag. And let me go ahead and where is it? Alt double click. Yep. So first I need to pull up a give me a second because I need to do a roll.
I'm very sorry to whatever happens to Harshnag next.
Especially because you guys have just created a, well, I don't want to say it. There's a particular genre on the internet.
Oh no.
Oh God. No tentacles.
And Harshnag is going to have advantage on this because he's very afraid. All right, let's see. They rolled a 4 and Harshnag rolled a 6. Neither of them are very good. But Harshnag does kind of a football player like duck and weave maneuver, and he gets under one of the tentacles and then or the vines, and then he's out here and he's running, and the two of them are gonna slam into this door and knock it open. As the door swings open, Gimbal, do you have any more healing potions? Take the opportunity to use.
Yeah, I have. Looks like I have.
Fucking, that's a good number. All right, so
I should probably do 6.
I don't know the. Well, we'll go one at a time. So that's 2d4 plus 2.
Yep.
Okay. And Gimbal has 56 total. That's 24, 25, 26, 27.
We rested before coming here, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. You're pretty much capped off. You had to spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of yours to get there. And Sabek, what's your
Yes.
natural healing rate with the heart thing?
I think it's half every turn. Dragon's Heart. Aura, Dragon Scales, Dragon's Wings, Breath, Horns, Tail.
You heal an amount.
Dragon's Heart, you heal. Oh, sorry, we found it at the same time. Equal to the con every turn. If you are down and bleeding out, you stabilize next turn, but don't recover HP until the turn after.
Oh, I don't know why it says this expends one of your hit dice. If that's a mechanic that I wrote in all along, that would have made everything much more balanced, and I forgot that we had that. So we're not going to implement it right now. It's just
Okay.
Your Constitution score, which is 5. So every turn you're recovering 5 hit points. So you're gonna be maxed capped off by the time you get to the bottom door there.
Okay.
What's your max hit points?
69.
Nice. Okay. So you're capped off. Okay. You guys slam through the door and come into the room on the other side. Give me a second. Polygon reveal. Click, click, click. Okay. Okay. So, you guys head into this room. I just revealed the room. There are two hill giants sitting on chairs who seem to be consulting with the Queen Regent Sarissa. Sarissa looks like she is the equivalent of maybe like 17 years old in a human. Like she's shockingly young to be in the position she is, which says a lot about how shitty her sisters must be. And you do in fact recognize Imrith. He is
Mother!
20 feet tall right now, and blue, but otherwise looks like the same. I mean, she was blue last time too. She looks like the same woman that you recognized from last time. Except last time she had, I think she had dragon wings and a tail, much like Sabek does when he's in his half draconic form. And she had that the whole time you were seeing her, but now she does not have that, but she is clearly the same woman and is giant sized. And then you see another storm giant, like you know, royalty type person sitting on the other side of Sarissa. They seem to be holding court. You guys have slammed the door open, and right away, Imperator Uthor has stood up and drawn his sword and is asking, "What's the meaning of this? What do you guys do?"
Azra is jumping around like an excited puppy and just shouting "mother" over and over.
Okay.
Lunara is just clinging to Basha. She's scared. She doesn't want to deal with this right now. She's not prepared.
Okay. So, I'm gonna say that Harshnag has
all that moving.
It's not me.
Sorry, I was making some noise. I'm done.
Is it fair to? I think that Harshnag should do the same damage, but should have a permanent -2 to attack. Due to having a robotic arm he hasn't adjusted to completely yet.
Yeah, it hasn't been 7 months.
It's not been 7 months.
Yeah. That's
So, he is going to rip Grom his axe in his hand, and he is going to walk forward and guys, give me some cool shit for him to say. I feel like it has to be Sabek who says some cool shit, but I don't know it. I want you guys to tell me what cool shit he said.
Harshnag?
Yeah.
Because
this lady ate his arm off. I feel like of the entire party, he has, other than like maybe Sabek Azra, he has the most like beef.
I think he would probably be like, "We brought your son back to you, you blue bitch."
Whoa!
He's mad.
That's a very Sabek thing to say.
Yeah,
I would feel like Harshnag would be like, "Hey, Imran, long time no see. Last time we saw each other, you took an arm from me, and I intend to make it even."
I like that. I like that. I like that. Let's do that. Okay. Oh, okay. This is going to be very interesting. So, I think she sees that, and then there is a flicker of recognition as she sees and recognizes who Harshnag is, and she's going to jump up and try to convince Sarissa that Harshnag is a traitor who has come to usurp the throne. What do you guys do?
I'm still in armored flesh
That
and
made
rage,
his
right?
way over. What'd you say?
I was asking if I was still in rage and armored flesh.
Sure.
Well, I'm definitely not approaching Emerith. That's for sure.
All right.
Hazard's definitely trying to. Are you guys holding him back?
Yeah, please don't go. And Gimble tries to like forcefully puts his
mother,
hands on his body and like holds him back.
Okay, so I know where I want this scene to go, but I need to get past the point of right now. Imarith has a lot of social leverage, and I don't know how you guys are going to get. I don't know how
the
Are
Giants.
you guys planning to fight the Queen Regent and her like other advisor person who, as far as you know, are totally innocent and based on all character witnesses are good people? Are you going to fight them? Because they have every reason to believe that Imrith is innocent right now.
Well, do they? Can they understand that I am shouting "mother" at Imrith? Or do they not speak or understand the language that I'm speaking?
Are you shouting it in Common or Draconic? I feel like you would be shouting it in Draconic.
Yeah, he's shouting it in Draconic, definitely. And they see a little dragon man here.
They definitely
trying to move toward Imarith.
These people would definitely understand Draconic. I don't think that they certainly are on their guard and are not dismissing your accusations out of hand, but you also haven't made any like real accusations. So far, Harshnag just bashed in the room and said, "I'm gonna chop your arm off."
we need to make a more forceful claim. Can we use?
Well, yeah, that's what I was trying to do. The whole "we brought your son back to you," but
right. So
I think we need to tell everybody that she's a dragon.
Okay. Do you guys want to kind of use Vasha as a mouthpiece right now, since she is a member of the court?
Yeah, they're gonna take her.
Right. We've explained to her. Yeah, she knows that she's a dragon. First,
okay.
That's what we've told her.
Okay. So for the time
being, and we should be like, Vasha should be like, that creature next to you isn't what she appears to be. She's a dragon, and we can prove it. And they're just like, and they'd probably be like, what? And then you let Azra go, and he runs toward her, and she, I'd imagine, would sit him down just like she did last time.
Okay. I like this. And I like that line. So that line was, this woman Imrith is not who she seems to be. She is a dragon in disguise. I don't know if she would know that you would be able to prove that by being a weird. I'm gonna get rid of these two people who were supposed to be here doing court with that. You know what? No, I'm not. These two people were having a session with the Queen Regent, and they're very uncomfortable, and they have kind of just pushed themselves up into the back of the nook and looking back and forth and doing kind of the like ping pong table or like the tennis eyes where they're like looking like back and forth as you guys go talk. Okay, so Vasha accuses Imrith of being a dragon, and I think she's going to say that Harshnag, who is a renowned and respected hero of the realm, lost his arm to this dragon not 2 months ago or whatever. And I think that Imrith steps forward and she says something along the lines of like, Your Grace, this is preposterous. Like, there's no reason that you should be listening to. And she's walking closer to this pool as she talks, and then just seamlessly she jumps into the pool and dips under the water and is gone.
Oh, god damn it. Azra again shouts, "Mother!" and runs to the pool.
Okay. These two are very like on alert now. Like, that was fucking weird. And they are going to say like, Vasha, we need to talk. Okay. Sarissa is going to. Who stays behind to talk? Harshnag or Vasha? I think somebody needs to stay behind to explain what's happening.
I think Vasha would. She makes
I think Vasha. I love this relationship with Lunara, and I will expand on that. But right now, I think that Vasha stays behind to explain the situation to them. Imperator Uther, Sarissa sends him to go catch Imrith, and you guys are welcome to chase along as well. Is that what you guys are?
Lunara really doesn't want to go in that pool.
Hold on.
Tamara's going to change into a polar bear and jump into the pool. I'm going after her.
Fucking awesome. Okay. Please tell me that I saved. Yes. God dang it.
That's a very big polar bear.
It's a big polar bear, and it also.
No, that's fine. Yeah, she's a big polar bear.
Polar bear pog.
I like it.
Totally had a like polar bear sprite that I used at one point, and I keep not saving it. Give me a second. Creatures, furry creatures. And which one of these am I using? That's not a polar bear. That's a pretty good polar bear. We could use that one. What have I uploaded recently? Actually, I wouldn't have used it very recently. Let me just look. I could use that one. Or or I could use that one. All right, Dad. Which of these do you want to use for your polar bear icon?
I think that white one.
The one on the right?
Yep.
Okay.
That one. So can I move faster than her? I mean, how much of a head start does she have? And she's in human
She
form.
only has a few
she?
seconds head start.
Or she's in giant form?
She's in giant form. Give me a second. Setting up polar bear.
Okay.
HP.
My movement is 40. My swim is 30.
Okay. And I need to click compact, below, save, click here, polar bear, edit, remove default token, yes, use selected token. I did it. Okay. Polar bear's caught up. Now that won't come up again. Not that we'll have a lot of opportunities for it too, but okay. So Imperator Uther followed immediately by Tamara in polar bear form.
So who is Uther?
He is the person who was sitting to Queen Regent Sarissa's right.
He's a giant?
Yep, he's a storm giant.
Okay.
He's the one that she sent after Imrith when Imrith bolted. Okay, who is uncomfortable with swimming? Because Harshnag's gonna grab that person.
Lunara is. She's terrified if she goes in that pool, she's gonna drown.
We both are.
Okay.
I don't like swimming.
Yeah.
Kimball's gonna turn into a fish. He'll be fine.
Okay, fantastic. And Tamara is not here in bodily form. Okay, so Harshnag is going to scoop the two of you up in his arm and jump in the water. The water has a little bit of a riptide effect, and it's almost like a... You get the impression that this might be their society's equivalent of like an elevator that like rapidly moves you from one point to another. You do have to hold your breath. You are underwater, but it pulls you somewhere. Give me a second. One of these rooms is supposed to have the thing I'm looking for, but maybe I forgot to update it. That's okay. Oh well. Okay. Give me a second. I'm copying you guys in, and I am I gotta go over here. Go over here. I gotta copy this. Okay, and now I need to reveal area. Okay, this is gonna be a little interesting. Yeah, there we go. That worked pretty well. Okay, so you guys come up out of this central water shaft. You were briefly in this like big whirlpool that has like freaking orca whales and stuff swimming in it. You see old broken like shipwrecks embedded in the walls of this area. And both Harshnag and the knight that you're following seem to take this completely as just like an everyday kind of thing. You follow after Imrith, and you just barely are able to keep her in sight as she travels down this tunnel. She pops out and immediately sprints for a room, and the knight is going to note that that's her bedroom she's heading for. And I need to prep one thing before the next scene. Should not take very long. I need to go here. I need to go here. Hmm. Hmm. There we go. Yeah, that's what I need. Perfect. Okay. Okay. So you guys see Imrith in her room just as you guys get to the door and step inside, and you see her open the door to presumably her bedroom and slam it behind her, and you hear a lock click. And then that's the last that you see. The Imperator is already walking over, but do you guys want to do anything?
So I don't see this on the map. Yeah,
You know what? That's fair. That's because I did not move you guys over to the map. You guys should be able to see it now.
Yep.
Okay. So there's the
see
big tunnel
something.
that you guys were traveling through. You got off at like the top floor in quotes. And this purple barrier that you guys are kind of on top of is actually kind of like a two-way force field air bubble that you guys can move in and out of, but the air stays inside. So if you're out here, you're in the ocean swimming. If you're in here, you're just in her room.
Okay.
And it's all air. So you're in her room. What do you do?
The polar bear is gonna try and bust down the door. So she went to that door to the right into that black area.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try and get her out. I'm gonna go body
Azra's
slam
keeping
against
pace
that
with the
door.
polar bear because that's his mom.
Yep. Okay. Harshnag is getting in on this action too, and between the lot of you, there's like just a mad rush of beating on the door, and I think that eventually you have to coordinate things, and the two giants have Harshnag swing near the lock of the door a few times to loosen it, and then the Imperator, who's a little bit larger, gets a running jump and slams his foot right into the hinge of the door, and it goes flying open. And where's my reveal tool? You see a bedroom inside with standard furnishings. There's a chest, there's a couple drawers, there's a closet, like a wardrobe. There's a large standing mirror next to the bed. And that's about it. I feel like based on the stuff that I put in this room, I might have given a little bit of a clue. But
who would know?
that's okay. It's kind of like in Scooby-Doo when sometimes like one section of the wall is a different color than all the rest of it. That's all right. It's a limitation of the medium.
Maybe she's hiding under the bed.
Maybe there's a light bulb going off.
Magic mirror?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Smashy?
Polar
So,
Bear's gonna go sniff around the mirror.
Okay.
Use his senses, her senses, to try and
It smells like a
figure
mirror.
out about that mirror.
It smells like a mirror, but does anybody have detect magic?
I do not. I'm a polar bear.
Well, that's fair.
She's here. I can feel her.
Actually, you can't. You felt her all the way up until she entered this room. You felt her enter this, and you no longer detect her anywhere in this room.
The polar bear is going to like tap onto the glass, feel the glass of the mirror with her paw.
Okay, so you tap it, and it
Not trying to break it. I'm just
Right.
touching it. I'm just trying to detect
so it's not
it.
like your hand goes straight through. It taps off of it like glass, but everywhere that you tap, there's like a flash of light that emanates out of where your paw touched it. So it is clearly magical and clearly reacting to touch.
Polar bear is going to rush into it. You're gonna rush it head on.
Okay. You charge into it, and there's a big loud bang as you hit it. It does not break, and there's a very bright flash of light, but you do not travel through it. Okay, I think both the Imperator Uthor and Harshnag are going to come over and ask what you found.
I don't think I can tell him because I'm a polar bear.
You know, that's very.
That's an actual
frustrating mirror.
In in Pathfinder, there was a feat you could take to learn how to imitate human speech when using an animal body, but without it, you can't. You just can't. That's great. Okay, so Sabek, do you reveal that you don't detect her in the area anymore?
Yeah, I was gonna amend what I said a moment ago to I felt her right before we came in here, but I don't feel anything anymore.
Okay, so because like magic mirrors of teleportation are not unheard of in this world, as we mentioned the last time this came up, these guys are going to look back and forth and postulate that might be what's here, especially mirror magic to being touched, but it's clearly locked in some way that is preventing you guys from getting through. And Imperator Uther asks that you guys guard the room while he goes to get the Queen Regent and asks for advice.
The polar bear would like to sniff around and see if he can catch her scent and maybe see if he can find something she's touched recently. You know, maybe there's a lever, there's some kind of a trick
thing.
to
Can you
turn
make an
this
investigation roll?
Sure. Wait a second. So I'm a polar bear. How do I do that?
Just use your characters.
Well, I'm looking at the character sheet. Investigation. I've got perception +3.
Oh, perception. Whew. Whew. That's a good roll. Okay. So she's used most of the stuff in this room very extensively.
But she just came into this room recently. I would think maybe there would be a recent scent of her
You don't smell like a lever anywhere or anything like that. I think with a 22, we can say that you smell her trail leading up to the mirror.
So did she like grab a few things? Did she pack an overnight bag? So do I
No,
to
she was
detect
in
if
here
she?
for like a minute before you guys got in. So you guys keep investigating for a while, and eventually Uther is going to return with the Queen Regent and Vasha, who has explained the situation, and Sarissa is bought in. Sarissa actually is going to she's like a little bit nervous. She's gonna go ahead and inform you guys that so this is good. We're definitely going to investigate Imrith because it seems that she is at the heart of probably a lot of misdeeds and abuses of conduct. It is worth noting, Sarissa cannot bring the full force of royal resources that she would like to bring because it would appear that a coup is happening and her sisters are trying to gain control. So, time is of the essence. Let's follow her. Sarissa is excited to get out of the room right now. Get out of the castle.
When she says, let's...
Sarissa is totally bought into chasing down Imrith and is actually very excited to chase Imrith out of the castle because the castle is going to be flooded with rebels any second now.
So does she think the magic mirror goes somewhere else within the castle?
She thinks the magic mirror, well, if you guys catch her up on the situation and think there's a magic mirror on, she thinks that it probably takes Imrith to another location that Imrith would get to.
Who is Dirk Hardpeck?
That was was that one of the sailors?
No. Where do you see that?
It's on Roll20. It just disappeared, but it joined as a player.
Yeah.
That must have been an accident.
A what?
That's hilarious.
An admin, you said?
No, that's my friend Ryan. He played with me in a previous campaign. I imagine that he joined accidentally, which is probably why he was only on for a second.
Tomorrow has changed from polar bear back to her human form because it doesn't seem to be anyone to fight at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, she could do more as a human.
Okay.
She's gonna continue searching around the.
So
this was her. So maybe she's left jewelry, or maybe she's left some note, something, to incriminate her.
Okay. So Sarissa is going to go check out the mirror, and Sarissa just happens to be a fairly accomplished sorceress, and
cool.
After discussing with Vasha, who is also somewhat magically accomplished, she is going to start running some magical tests quickly and in a hurry, and that's what's happening. After a second, you hear some commotion outside, and Imperator Uther urges you guys to be quick. and he's going to go buy time. And after a few seconds after that, Sarissa finishes her magical examination and reveals, okay, I know how to get through this. There's a password. It's
Sabek.
Before
not
before
Sabek.
we go through, I would like to mention something to our group. Before we go through, do we know that the item is still here? The horn of Neverwinter.
Horn of Winter.
Horn of Winter. So we thought the Horn of Winter was like in this castle or in this area.
Not necessarily.
Okay, something was blocking.
You had gone to an oracle and asked where to find it, and the oracle said it could not tell you where to find it because something in this city was blinding it.
So do we want to share that with the sorceress lady who's found the password for the mirror? So before we jump in there, do we want to share our knowledge with her and give her all the facts, or do we want to keep that to ourselves? I'm just huddling with the rest of the group to see what we do.
No, I think it makes sense to share it.
Okay.
Because maybe she has detect magic, or maybe she could help us figure out what is blocking Oracle from knowing where the and maybe it was the dragon lady who just fled. Maybe she had a ring or something. I don't know.
She's certainly
So,
a likely suspect.
Yeah, so I think we should share this with our new accomplice and see if she if that information doesn't help, maybe she will have some knowledge of what item might be able to block the oracle.
Sarissa doesn't know of. Sarissa knows of the Eye of the Allfather, the Oracle. And that's actually fairly privileged information. So she's surprised that you guys know it. Know of it. But she says no. As far as she's aware, the Eye of the Allfather is all powerful, and she does not know of anything that would be able to blind it other than maybe another god. Like, it would have to be something incredibly powerful. But the fact that Imrith was here, the fact that there was a dragon like in disguise in the Imperial Court is incredibly suspect, and if anybody would want to hurt giant kind, it would be dragons. So that seems like it's a thread worth chasing. Also, in like 30 seconds, this room is going to be flooded with rebels who want her dead. So let's go.
All right. Well, I just want to point out that I was not with them. Tamara was not with them, but the other members of the party did actually speak with you. So, she might be impressed that she may know of it, but they were actually there and used it, and that's what led them here to figure out what is blocking its sight.
Yeah, she's gonna say like, yeah, I know of it. It's like my family inheritance. My dad was the last big one to use it. There's like this whole thing. I know, like it's cool. I know. I stayed at the temple when I was and you guys actually remember when you were at the Eye of the All, you found some journal entries referring to the three different.
I think did we find her room, or found the princess's
you did. You found
room?
her like baby crib.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She's gonna say, that's cool. And at this point you hear Imperator Uther fighting. with some giants outside, and she's gonna say, "No more time. Let's go." And
Time to go. All right.
Draws a rune into the door, and the door, or not the door, the mirror, and the mirror transforms into a wall of bright light that she steps through, and everyone in the party can step through.
I'm gonna step through after her.
Yep. Going in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vasha is hesitant. Vasha kind of wants to find the Imperator, but she wants to go with Harshnag. So that's the whole party. Everyone jumps in through the mirror, and you guys are going to appear somewhere else.
Seems like a good stopping point.
I think this is a good stopping point. I mean, this is definitely a good stopping point. I think we're going to start next game by catching up with Wex and the pirate crew. I'm trying to figure out what needs to happen. Yeah, I have a lot of logistics I'm going to need to take care of this game. So, next game might be our last game. The only thing that's making me think otherwise is we have a big fight that needs to happen to wrap up Euron, and then we have a big fight that needs to happen with Imrith. So I don't know if we can fit both of those fights in one game and also have a game like at all, even if we did a long game. So I think I'm going to plan to have 2 games left in the campaign after this.
Okay.
I was hoping for this game to go a little bit faster and have you guys get through the mirror like halfway through this game. That's okay. I am not always super great at planning the timing on these things. So, let's plan on having next game be just an over-the-computer game. And then that might be short, depending on how things go. And then the game after that is going to be our capital L last game in this campaign.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Oh,
If you want to do an in-person game, you guys are welcome to come to our house. It's a little bit out there, but we got room.
Yeah, that was fun last time we went.
Our truck is still pretty not good.
Well, it'll probably be a couple weeks before the next game, and then maybe another couple weeks until the game after that. We can meet wherever works best for everyone, but yeah, let's figure out the location for that after next game.
Sounds good.
Okay, cool. So the game is officially over. Now I just and look at all the stuff that I missed because fuck, y'all's reactions were good.
You knew it was gonna happen, Brad.
You guys.
That's
Okay.
what happens.
So there are often points where like I cannot find a good, clean way to get all of the things that need to happen plot-wise to happen in a way that is like good game pacing and isn't just like me talking for like an hour solid without you guys doing anything.
Yeah.
And whenever I get to those things, I tend to just be like, all right, well, we're going to get halfway through, and then it's just going to be like, players do whatever they feel appropriate. And at that point, I have no idea what's going to happen. And I did not even consider that a possibility was you guys split off and go do your own thing. That was fucking dope. There's also one of the first times in it's relatively rare that you guys get stomped that hard.
Yeah, that was fun though.
I've never gotten unconscious.
Good. Okay, let's see. When did we make the Mean Girl reference? Was that
We were saying Orlecto was like the Regina George of the Storm Giants because he was being all pissy to Harshnag.
Oh yeah,
and it just didn't
he's a
fit in.
douche. He, by the way, he and the two other sisters are the ones who are like leading a right now. There is actually a Storm Giant coup going on.
Oh my god!
You guys were actually right.
Well, Sabek has to get kicked out of the Liars Club then, since that wasn't a lie.
Azra sheds a little tear.
It was a lie. It was a lie when he told it, and then he kind of
He spoke it into existence.
yes.
The coup master.
The power of words.
Also, yes, you guys found the exact right anime reaction gif. That was what I was thinking. I was okay. So a lot of times I've talked about how I will like draw a character or draw out a map for an area or something, and that thing like doesn't have a personality or whatever until I draw it. There were like 10 or more characters in that room, all of whom had like distinct personalities for them, and their personality was 100% derived just from the sprite that I picked from them. So like I knew that Vasha was like a cool chick, and like obviously she's queer. Yes. like it's just that's just like the only way that could be right in my head, and I'm very happy with how that whole interaction turned out. That was unexpected and delightful.
Quite unique.
My girlfriend.
Now I have to have another. Why is it that I just love every giant that has a name in this campaign?
I do
love the whole
too.
party, and then it's like people I love in this campaign is like your whole party, and then like half of the named giants. Okay, this was good shit. This was a
All
very
right, guys.
Thanks everyone.
This was fun.
Been fun.
Good night, everyone.
Have a good week.
All right, guys.
Night.
Have a good weekend.
See ya.
Good night, all.